what's up? Still Renee's Mr. Nation. And to my players, welcome to the NayFul podcast. Episode number 57. We are coming at you live at the blog, Electronic Solutions. And if you want to use these podcasting studios, you can send your email at admin@electronicsol.com. Today in the studio, we are joined by, hey, as I never checked, but you are a mom, you are a... we mental health we advocate yeah
an advocate for mental health.
Okay, please introduce yourself in a
No, mna andinasisituko ndinguFraser.
That's it.
No, except that ndizalwa libelekazi. My mom is a belekazi. So my father is Fraser, he's colored. So I am of mixed blood.
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes me Mercy Fraser.
Just that?
Yes, Mercy Moya Fraser. Those are the names that were given to me by my parents. And born and bred in a small town called Tsomo, in the Transkei, in the Eastern Cape. I grew up there. My grandparents and parents had businesses there. So I grew up in that kind of family. I've got other siblings. We are 7 in total. And
what's your point?
I'm the third eldest.
Okay.
So
is it the male and female, or it's just males?
It's the brother, Cedric, that is eldest, my sister Dawn, then me, Shirley.
Oh, my sister wakho unansika. I saw the 16th December umuntu ofana nawe ecala.
Yes. It's her. She went to the Conjwas.
Yes, emchatweni. Nditsho pha kuye ndithi man, you look like someone I know.
Yeah, no. Cousin wethu wakwakoyana Udali is married to the Conjwas.
Oh.
So I think it's the son that was getting married.
Getting married, yes.
Yes. So she had to go to that wedding.
Ngicela uandi wakho mna
No,
ndithi.
ndisemveni kwakhe ndilekela umafungwashe.
Oh.
Yeah, then me, and then the other two, that is also abayithu abesemveni kwam since passed on. And then I've got a sister, she stays in Konobi, and then I've got a little brother, he's working in Cape Town, currently overseas now doing his apprenticeship.
Oh, okay. Yay, imbaxa family.
Yeah, no, we're quite a huge family.
And I think the family that celebrates izinto, like occasions. Imagine I bump into your sister, Jay, at a space where I never thought I would, and I can't get. There was no prior introduction before that to know banguye. Kungona ndicinga ngokuba wayebizwa ngelo gama ulibizileyo. And now you usually host events. And utata lona wayengu MC pa kwa hati ngumalume wako?
No, he's my first cousin. We are cousins, not my uncle.
Also, you're not young, ne?
No. Yeah, no, as I said, that it's a big family, so it's more cousins that are there now. The the older people generation are there, but most of them have passed on, just like our fathers. There's only one sibling from family Kadada that has left. He resides and stays in Cape Town, Uncle Wesley. So he's the surviving brothers. There were 7 brothers. There were no girls.
Oh.
So so abo ubabonayo ubabusayo bazalwa ngabatata omncinci wamke. Basically.
Oh, it makes sense. Yeah. What's the in a situation now where you are in? There's ibelekazi in your blood, and then there's a colored side of you. Growing up, I don't know what's a normal childhood kumuntu onjalo ne. So I don't want to ask bana was it a normal childhood, but would you say when it was different from other kids okanye even the environment wawukhula kuyo nanikhula ngokufanayo?
Look, I'm told that my grandparents were, descendants from Britain, that is Scottish, of Scottish origin. And they came to South Africa as missionaries. Others settled Koma, Ngeleni, Libote, and Nasemapeleni and Tata. So that's where basically my family is. However, my side of family, that is Owamutamkulu, then decided to go and be a missionary at Somo, and he opened up businesses there. And the work that also he did was he used to teach financial management to the locals there and or small businesses. And ke wafula ke necawe ke as a result ke ikhona icawe yasekhaya.
Oh, so you grew up
Yes,
as
yes, that kind of an environment. And I guess that's where now remember that they had to fit into the community there and be part of the community. Hence, my father was able to marry Ubelegas, that is Unombriselo, Daza from the local, yes. Yeah.
your father and mom still alive?
My father passed on in 2000 and my mom passed on in 2009. So they have since passed on, yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then ufunda kwaphayana and then ufika nini East London?
Okay. I did part of my primary schooling at Somo because by virtue of my birth at Somo. So I think I left Standard 4 and came to East London. I went to Pefferville Primary School for Standard 4 and 5. And then Standard 6 and 7, I went, for Standard 6, I went to Butterworth High. And then for Standard 7, Daya Esakele, because my father apparently applied late for us to be admitted at high school. So, and then after passing my Standard 7, I came to East London for high school. So, and I completed my high school at John Bosco High School.
So high school yayiqala ku-8 ngela xesha?
No, high school yayiqala ku Standard 6.
Oh, so just for completion, you had to come and join
basic.
basic.
I had to come to John Bosco.
Okay. And then up gokukhulayo, what kind of music at home are you listening to? Gospel or R&B?
The most music that was played at the time was soul, R&B, the Commodores. I reminiscent playing of Shelley Brown. My cousins used to play the LP Shelley Brown, Woman to Woman, and Lionel Richie, Stuck on You, and I used to listen to Brenda Fassie a lot, each generation too, and the Letambulis. I used to listen to Letambulis. I used to listen to
Post Miriam Makeba?
Miriam Makeba as well, and many more.
Or all the outliners
Yes,
of that generation.
of that generation.
Shuma Sekela, Ponke Dar. I love that you can.
Ochabo Kanyile.
Oh yes, Sipombuli.
And I remember listening a lot to Stombi Mafi.
Oh, ithinga nene ngoma yakhe. Ah. Are you there Spocky Pong?
Chabo Kanyile.
Oh, Chabukhanyele lona ne.
And Stombi Mafi. Stombi Mafi, I'm not a good singer.
Uzibizela unonganga. Oh, lena xesha lomhlobo wenene eleya straight wayikhalisa zongoma right through. Okay. And then
And I used to listen a lot to Luther Vandross, the people
Dance with my
Brysons, the
father.
Roberta Flex, and Kenny G.
Okay.
Yes.
Do. Okay.
So those are the kind of music that I used to listen to.
What music are you listening to now?
I listen to all genres of music that are appealing to me. I listen to Zola Maola. I listen
But she hasn't released man in a while.
No, those songs are all time.
The Freshly
evergreens
Crowned.
of the Freshly Crowned
Okay.
music. I listen to
Zonge Tigano.
song. How did you know?
Once you go that
The
direction,
Jazziel Brothers,
obviously,
the
Uzana Golira.
Samitos,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Samito is coming to East London.
Really, I would like to go to his show.
Ingathi, if not this weekend,
Oh my word.
Guye Nomlindo, the vocalist.
You're joking. I listen to Limlindo, the vocalist. I love his music.
Uzabela Pekonin.
You're joking.
I would look for that poster. Because
I would really love to.
I was
go to
looking
his
for Umdu that is in charge to ask if Mklambi, can I get either one?
Wow, ne.
Because I think Samito ithini yakhe ngoma kanene. Ndiyathanda umphitanisa no Oh, kuba lo ucula mamela ndiyaxela
It's him as well.
Nomkhithi.
Yes, Nomkita. Yes, it's his song. Yeah. Yes.
Kuba lo ucula nomthande
It's Umtande
Musa.
Musa.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I do also listen to the Jazziel Brothers.
Obvious. Ringo Mahlingozi as well. Then
Tando.
Yeah.
Those are
Vusinova recently.
not really, but if I'm for Vusinova, for me, I go according to the mood. To be honest with you, yes.
Okay.
I think it's the beat and the sound for me.
Okay.
So for the Ringos, you can listen that to his music even at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
The Olivia Mtukutsis.
Okay.
And I remember when I was at university, that song used to rock, and I used to get it. I used to hate it because someone would be so mischievous when we had to study, and they would play Neria.
Yeah.
So it used to wake us up.
Yeah, that song is a classic. If I don't know Ngandweni, I didn't know they played so much in South Africa. I didn't know Abang Balab. Ngandweni,
Ngandweni is from
Oliver.
Swaziland,
Yes,
and
no
Oliver from
Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
They played so much, man, in the country. Oshongwe zango mamela.
No, I've always listened to Mim Kopstad, Ulusanda Mcinga. I'm just.
Okay.
And the Benjamin Dube, all time, and
Rebecca.
No, not really. Rebecca, 1 or 2 songs for me. For Rebecca. Who else was there?
What was your pick me up song? Like when you listen to it, one by it like when you say spirit.
Look, you know what, I've always went with, you'll be shocked, Michael Jackson and Luther Vandross.
Oh, okay.
When he says, "You found me when I was alone."
Yes. And does it dance with my father?
So, those were the songs that lifted me up. And, when it comes to Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror for me, that's the trick. And
never listened to Akon.
Akon, I did. And what's this other guy? Who's this other guy that used to sing along with Akon? I think it's not Kanye. Is it Kanye or
I don't know a song with Akon and Kanye. Unayo no Eminem, but you would know Eminem, obviously.
Westlife. I loved
Oh, you.
Black
There was a time.
Street
There was a time.
Boys.
Oh, yes, yes.
That was
Oh.
the Sunday vibes on from Black Street Boys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that I never found someone like you.
Oh, so you hopeless romantic one. Would you say that?
Yes.
Oh, which is okay. We will get to that later on.
Okay.
You finish high school. Where do you go?
Look, after high school, I went to Boston College. I did a business management course. And whilst I was busy with that study at Boston, Upper East London, I got a job offer at Butterworth, SA Breweries,
Okay.
in 1994. And I took up, it was a temporary position. I took up the job offer. And whilst I stayed in Butterworth, I realized that I needed to further my studies because I had already abandoned my studies to work.
Okay.
The reason being is that my father refused to fund my studies because he told me that he wanted me to go to Kaotabo College and be a teacher. And I didn't see myself as a teacher. I didn't want to go and pursue a teaching profession. So I said that, you know what, if this man wants to live to be a teacher or see one of his kids being a teacher, unfortunately, I'm not one of those.
At least to baninzi. If we young pass or no land, I might take
so
it.
I think his refusal gave me impetus to actually pursue what I always wanted. And whilst I started the job, I think 2 years later, I enrolled at the University of Transkei, a branch in
Unitra.
Unitra. So it became education. I started there. And I soon, later realized that, again, andifuna uba yitisha lakas. And I think what scared me then was the fact that some of the ladies that I was studying with, they were already teachers, but were augmenting the education. So they told me that, hey, next year you are going for this thing called creating. That is your practicals.
Okay.
And
School experience
yes,
nowadays.
Yes, your internship at the school on how to teach, basically. So, and I asked them a few questions, and I said, okay, where will this be? And they said, no, it's going to be the schools in the rural areas. And I was like, okay, in the rural areas. Now there's going to be the language barrier. I was not that much fluent in Xhosa by the time.
Okay.
And I had to think quickly.
Okay.
And saying that, do I want to subject myself in being a teacher as Lalini? Not to say that I undermined the rural.
I think I get you.
Because now remember that I had to somewhat give back and make those considerations as well. But for me, was that, okay, am I going to be stuck in a rural situation? Because I do not necessarily come from a rural area. So, Hlale village, Ekaya, there's basically everything. And I somewhat saw myself as privileged. So that now was a setback for me. It meant then I've got to look for a accommodation in the local community and stay even there. Yeah. And that scared me. And I went back to one of my friends and his name was Undaba. And I said, hey, Ndaba, there's this issue now here. What do I do? And he asked me, what is it? I said, the worst part that scared me was when I went to town this afternoon, I saw as Babusi was Lalini, they used to ride on these stallions those vehicles, that panel vans, stallions. So when I saw these teachers coming out of that stallion, Toyota stallion, sure, that now really scared me as well. But they were sitting on buckets.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the discomfort and how uncomfortable and the distance that they had to travel to get to town to utilize their own vehicles back home. And I started to change my mind. I said, shoes full of dust and sitting on that drum or bucket for me is a big no. No ways. Andizothi ndisebenza ndiphinde ndibuyele backwards just because I want to be a professional.
Okay.
So let me explore other options. So that set me a year back at university because I had to detour and consider doing extra subjects and modules to align myself towards a BCom degree. So I remember the other colleagues of mine that I was studying with, Manshia, because I had lagged 1 year behind because I had to make this choice and decision, by the way. So, but I've never regretted.
Okay.
So here am I now, and that proved to work for me. And and the rest is history.
Okay. Yeah. Initially utata wakho ufuna ube ngutishara. Before that, ngokuwena uZep John Phezika uthi ufuna uba yintoni?
At the time, when we were growing up, we saw ourselves as doctors, accountants, and
Big Five, doctor,
Yes.
accountant, lawyer, teacher, police.
So the two already I had already discounted. I never saw myself as a teacher. I never saw myself as a police
As a nurse as well.
a nurse as well, because that were the recognized professions at the day. So I saw myself as an accountant, and that's what I pursued, and it worked.
So you are living your dream right now?
Yes, I am living my dream.
Oh.
I am living my dream.
And this is the first time I actually talked to someone ophangela okanye okule ndawo owayefuna initial. Most of the times people umuntu ufumana i-qualification ufumaniseka uba ku-field yakhe kugcwele okanye it's not what they thought it is, and then they venture into somewhere else. Ufumaniseka uba they just did that mhlambi it was just a ticket for networking. Otherwise, they are not even pursuing what they were studying, and. So when you say now, that's what you wanted in high school, and you're actually doing it right now, many years later.
Opportunities at that time in the late 90s were there, and there were choices, because I remember getting an offer Momentum for an internship, and I had to make a choice either to go to Joburg or Cape Town. And the sad part is that I was already indebted. I had already had accumulated debt. Dansane namatyala.
Okay.
Accounts, a vehicle, even though it was not financed, I used to pay an amount because I put on a higher deposit to buy my first vehicle.
Oh.
So, but I had to pay monthly installments towards the purchase of that vehicle and the rent and all that stuff. And I think the issue then was for me, what do I do with my furniture that I've already
you are paying
for?
Yes.
So I had to make that decision of going for the internship. And I think I did not pursue it because if I pursued it, in finding or getting more details, I would have perhaps made a
Decision to leave.
good decision to leave. Yeah, and at that point in time as well, Camagu, remember that when it came to career guidance, there were limitations, by the way, that not not a lot of information was available. As we say that there was only, in terms of career limitations,
Yeah.
these that we knew that you either go for your doctor, nurse, teaching, a lawyer, accounting as well. So yeah, we never thought outside the box and what would the explorations be when we consider this, because already when you would talk your momentums, your old mutuals, your actuarial companies would have opened those doors for most of us if we were considerate of those opportunities back then.
I think yazi go elelo naxesha lale right, because now there's too much information now. Career day uthi usathi well ke back when I was still in high school ufumaniseka ba ngapha unika pamphlet ngapha unika pamphlet xa utyhile awuyazi noba kubethwa baphi more than 1,000 ezinto that you can do mhlawumbi kuthiwe le section i-section yelo this is what it does and then this is what you can be. So umane ukhetha wena uba ndiyabawela uba yile utyhile iphepha ndiyabawela uba yile ufumaniseka uba now too much information causes a lot of confusion. Limited, it's also limited to a certain number of people. So, but yeah, I wanna move to. So you work there, and then life. Okay, I wanted to first ask, how many provinces have you traveled?
I've been to Mpumalanga, I've been to KZN, I've been to Gauteng, I've been to Cape Town, I've been to Namibia, I've been to Mozambique, I've been to the Portuguese island, and
Portuguese island is in Africa, okay?
yes, it's just outside
Ghana.
Yes. So I've traveled, but I've not gone. I've traveled yet overseas.
Oh, you've never
traveled overseas.
Okay, USA.
And USA.
Yes, that's what we farm. No,
I guess you know what. What makes people entitled at times is the way they're socialized. And the element of entitlement also comes to the fore. And I somewhat call it inconsideration, not being agile to the current environment. Because this is not a worse country to live in.
Yeah.
It's actually nice to live in South Africa.
It's even
the
better.
Diversity.
Because if it was the worst, there's a lot of, even us, we don't speak a lot, there are 11 official languages. And kulondo njalo kusekho abanye abantu from different countries, kusekho abantu from Pakistan that come here, that form bane families apha, kusekho abantu from Zimbabwe, from Kenya, from Tanzania, that make families here. So you can't tell us that South Africa is the worst one, because even those ones are running from their countries and come this side.
If it were a bad country, we wouldn't be having most people that are coming from outside. For example, you look at the city of Cape Town.
Yeah.
You would be able to say that most of the inhabitants of the city of Cape Town, or the Western Cape generally, are foreigners. What are they then doing if they are so much affected by all other variables that affect every one of us, including crime? If it were that bad, why still go and purchase a house worth 10 million
Yeah.
if there was nothing to look forward to?
Yeah.
Yes. It's a very unfortunate situation, and if we sensationalize it to that extent, it is worrisome.
Let's go to the foundation now. What do you see that makes you think, okay, that gives you the decision, okay, an idea, let me start, okay, let me open, okay, let me partner with people if you partner, and when's the M Fraser Foundation? What is it all about? What does it do?
Okay, hear me out on this. The Fraser Foundation is a birth of sole purpose of emancipating women, formed by a woman. I just want to take a step back before I get to how it was really formed. During the period of 2013 and 14, life happened. I went through depression. And little did I know that the signs that I had and the feeling that was somewhat different in my outlook was depression, anxiety.
Okay, just take another one, Pa. Okay, but you can continue, sorry.
Little did I know that depression started to hit me hard. And it was very painful, as I had only identified the symptoms through how my body responded differently to the normal way that I was accustomed to. For example, I remember there was this one dress that I wore, and I never wanted to wear another one. And when I used to prepare for work and open up the wardrobe, I never identified with the outfits in my wardrobe. And my body just slipped into, depression. And I decided to get help. And as I said, I never knew that was related to mental decline. Thank goodness I was quick to get assistance and reach out for help in the form of psychologists and your doctors. During that journey, it was not an easy one because, we react differently when we take medication. And when I was on antidepressants as well, I think were reactionary towards my body. And it was a struggle. And I had to start delving into information, reading and researching alternative ways of using the pharmaceutical antidepressants that were prescribed for me. And that's when I also discovered that there were, your organic, traditional medicine, homeopathic medicinal plants. I used that, and that helped me a lot. That's when I regained my strength, and my well-being started to pick up. My confidence started to pick up as well. And when I look back then, I realized that it happened during the time I started to hit my 40s, right?
Okay.
And normally, so for most women at that stage, they go through hormonal changes, leading to menopause and all related symptoms. Um, However, what also triggered, I think, from my side is that when I pinned on the dots to say what could have led to the depression on me, I think it's the fact that we ignore the signs. We do not want, no one wants to get sick, by the way, right?
Yeah.
However, this information was never given to me. There was no advice similar to me to say that at a particular stage in your life, this is what you will be going through
Okay.
as a woman. As I say, those physiological and metamorphological changes in a woman. And I say this, Camagu, that do we ever listen to our bodies, for example, when something has happened in your life, either the trauma that you experienced when you were growing up as a child, that time that when you were jilted by a boyfriend, that you somewhat thought you loved, and it becomes a painful process. Who do you seek solace from? No one. You've just got to wake up and brush yourself off and carry on.
Yeah.
And then death comes knocking on your door. Boomerang, your parents die. I've had a child, a daughter at that point in time. My daughter, when she passed on, was 20 years old. So was I ready for that?
Yeah.
So I think then it was a build-up
Of many things.
of many things that were unresolved, issues that no one said or told me that you will be having at some point in your life. And once these issues are not resolved, then this is what is going to be happening in your body and your well-being, you know. So I went on to, as I said, seek help. And healing for me was a process. It has been a journey. And that is where the Fraser Foundation started. I wanted to tell my story. I wanted to tell and empower other women, young women, girls, and boys, by the way. They are not excluded because 1 in 8 persons, according to the World Health Organizations, go through mental health. And when you go outside as well, the most impacted or affected people or persons out there are men.
Yeah, for the most part, because women now have a lot of support groups.
Yes.
Even then, they used to share a lot of things together. They used to cry in front of one another, embrace each other. Younger than their corner. Men do not cry in front of other men. They don't embrace each other. They don't. As long as it's that you would need as a baby going through something that is hard, that you would get from either a parent or a sibling that is older. When you are a man and you are outside, or you are not with the family, even the family might not know that you are going through a hardship. So it makes sense that a lot of men are going through all of these things because of.
Look, I think when it comes to men, your traditional masculinity kicks in terms of boys have always been told that they are not supposed to cry. they're not supposed to show emotions. And that has stuck with them for the longest of time. And I somewhat have a different view. It is okay to not to be okay. It is okay to show emotions. It is okay to cry. Remember, crying is part of your healing.
Yeah.
It's relieving. It's also relief
Yeah.
from grief or whatever pain that you suffer from.
Yeah, because if you stuff a lot of things inside, the more you crying at so now when you tell them not to cry, you are telling them to bottle
Tigers don't
things
cry.
up.
I remember, the one gentleman that used to stay at home used to say to my brother when he used to cry, "No, don't cry. Tigers don't cry." And I'm like, he's got to cry because he's in pain.
Yeah.
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 So yes, and you would withhold his tears because they were often teased that if you cry you are labeled as a sissy. So no, let's stop it. Let's stop doing that. Let them cry. Let them express emotions.
What are the? So you start the foundation. It's like a way to provide information for when you couldn't get information at your difficult time.
Yes. At the time of forming the foundation, this is what went through my mind and heart. At the center of the work that I currently do as well, humanity comes to the fore in that we are supposed to live our purpose, but we find our purpose along the way. And sometimes that purpose is defined to the experience and the pain that we're going through one way or the other. And that propelled me to share my story on mental health because I felt that everyone was going through something in different ways. And how do they live to understand what they were going through and how were they going to be able to seek healing, support, information, and breaking the stereotypes and stigma on mental health as well. I think that for me was at the focus of it all. And I said, look, as a woman, women go through a lot. And by the way, we are anchors and provide stability to most homes. I mean, what could happen to my boys if should something happen to me, knowing that I am the sole provider of their home. And I somewhat wanted to empathize more on women, children as well, in terms of saying that women go, as I said, they don't have these much opportunities out there. And can you imagine a situation where woman just shuts down and gets sick because there was lack of information? Let me be that light. Let me provide the littlest of whatever that I could in trying to live my purpose, in making a concerted effort to put myself out there in saying, we can do this. We can change the trajectory and improve the lives even of those that are marginalized in rural areas. As you know, I did allude to the fact that I'm from Zomo. The sad part with that Camagu was when the one lady told me that in December 2003, this husband of this lady had passed on. He just got sick he suffered short illness and he died. Was buried. And in January, men stormed into the woman's house and killed her. And killed her. Killing her, accusing the accusations that go with witchcraft in the locations, that she bewitched the husband. And that is part of what I also wanted to incorporate in the work that I'm doing, to educate communities, more specifically from rural areas, to say that, what does witchcraft look like? Why would one want to go and kill someone that they profess to love? Yeah. How do I decide to kill my husband? For what gain if I deem to love this man? Yeah. So what does witchcraft? I don't say witchcraft does not exist, by the way, but it cannot be that in this day and age, people go out of their way to kill and accuse people of witchcraft. I do not imagine when someone would want to kill someone when they have basically nothing and accuse them of witchcraft. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. And all I'm saying is that now is the time for us to take a stand on all these social ills that affect our communities, our loved ones, our families. Okay. Let's take a stand on that.
Yes.
And that's what the foundation is based on. I am saying that mental health is a reality. So if it affected me and I was able to get help, how more so does it affect the next person who does not have much information and available facilities that are not user-friendly for them in terms of giving them access to medication and information and the resources like your doctors and so forth. So that for me is at the center of why I formed the foundation.
Okay. I understand that the foundation hosts what was the theme kanene ngokunene se cricket
unpacking mental health.
That was your first event?
That was my first event.
Okay. And then you had another one?
Yes.
Same year?
So it was similar. However, the second one was somewhat more informative. Informative because I had a bigger panel. I had to engage. I'm not a specialist on mental health. I need to make that disclaimer. I also had to recognize my limitations and weaknesses in the information that I will be sharing. It's well and good to share your story. However, one has got to ensure that they've got a variety of information, starting from your pharmacist, your medical doctors, your psychiatrist, your psychologist, your clinical nurse and psychologist nurse, and your pastors as well, because some other people come with different dynamics
approaches
as well
yes.
To say that is what I'm feeling valid?
Yeah, I think as long as it's feelings, medicine applies, spirit, like the spiritual world can come and change how you feel.
Yes.
The medicine can change how you feel. The traditions can change how you feel. And then the specialist again, the therapy is the group therapy, the activities, and so forth. As long as it's feelings, whatever it is that you feel, there's no limitations to how you want to approach healing with regards to that. It's just that it's a matter of preference.
It is.
So I understand how you say from pharmacist to psychologist, clinical psychologist, and. Now, someone is watching, they have never attended an event. There's an event that is coming up. Tell me more about that one.
Okay. This one is for parents empowerment seminar. The parents empowerment seminar is basically as a Fraser Foundation. We are saying that parents go through so much. We are swamped and stressed out there. Most parents find themselves in financial distress. Most parents find themselves with challenges of neurodivergent kids. They don't know how to handle neurodivergent kids. Your ADHD kids, your hyperactivism, all in that family of neurodivergent, spectrum.
Okay.
So
there's also the the Down syndrome. Is
the
also
Down
there.
syndrome
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So I've had numerous inquiries as to, can you please just share more light on this? That platform will seek to support, to heal, connect, and empower parents on how we can deal with these challenges. The other one is divorced parents. How do we cope? How do parents that are divorced cope nowadays?
Oh, because there's a lot of parenting groups,
Yes.
step parents as well.
Yes. Mixed, it's called mixed families and co-parenting.
Mixed families, what happens? It's when I marry you with my two kids,
Your
you have
kids.
your own.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Outside step parenting.
Outside step parenting. Are we holding and having those discussions? And what are our responses? How do we handle these as parents? The other one is screen time. How do we set controls for our kids in order to ensure that we set boundaries for them within our homes and at school as well?
You must have Melan.
Yes.
Oh, I'm reading a book.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Do I have a book one?
Yes, I've got a book.
Oh, but you should have brought one. I'm gonna get it on the event.
Sure.
Yes, thengiswa ba.
No, she has not yet contacted me for hers.
No, I'm asking yours.
No, I don't have a book as yet. No, I don't have a book as
Oh.
yet. I haven't documented a book as yet because I've been engaged in so many activities such that I need to juggle priorities. I've got family, my boys as well require me. So what I am about to talk about must also be relatable from my point of view.
Perspective. Yes.
What are the difficulties that I am also experiencing as a parent?
What out of all this parenting city positions, for lack of a better word, are you what what kind of parent are you? Are you a single parent? Are you a?
I am a single parent. However, my partner does also play a role in the bringing up of my kids. So we have a co-parenting responsibility. I did speak about boundaries, and boundaries are needed in any relationship to make a safe and conducive environment for the upbringing of kids as well.
It's an interesting dynamic in the parenthood, because sometimes I meet you without kids. I don't have kids as well. We form a relationship, and then things happen. I go and make a baby outside. Now it's a different step parenting than you meeting me with a child already, than a child being made while we are in a relationship. So now people have to deal with those things. Now they are married, They have to deal with this new kid. 4 years into the marriage, there's a baby that is from outside that has to come home now. So I'm thinking, how do you then, like a scenario where umntu aze athi ndim ndimitiswe ngutata walapha njengoba nina nistrugglisha to have kids, you will now, your first experience of being a parent will be with this baby. Now, how do you deal with such? How do you deal with making a lot of babies together and then divorce comes? How do you deal with zondo zinjalo? How do you deal with mhlambi distant parenting? You love your kids, you want to be present for your kids, work says otherwise. Now, how do you deal with that parenting, that kind of parenting? I think there's a lot of parenting styles and parenting. It's a vast topic altogether.
It is. We have just taken or chosen a few that we could deal with on the day. For example, handling divorce and how parents find it challenging to raise kids with separated parents. Then it's the aspect of financial well-being in relationships. So that will also be discussed. And the one that I've just made reference to, your neurodivergent or divergent spectrum, like Down syndrome,
Yes.
ADHD, hyperactivism, and all that falls within that category. But more so as well, generally, how can we as parents empower each other so that we help other parents, find a balance? The reason why I chose the seminar, Camagu, was the fact that where I come from, our parents used to talk about raising kids. The fact that we are worlds apart from one another, we cannot hold those conversations on a continuous basis. We've got to try. We are raising other human beings, and these kids are going to grow up to be adults.
Of their own,
What expectations do we have from them?
Yeah.
Fine, there is no formula in a book prescriptive of how parent should be. But do we have standards? Do we have sets of standards or set standards that we can use as guidelines or guidance in bringing up our kids? Do we know what parenting is all about? What is it, by the way?
Yeah.
And how should parenting look like?
A healthy parenting.
A healthy, parent child relationship as well. Are we doing enough to communicate effectively with our kids so that they understand the dynamics in the home to raise strong, resilient, and capable kids as well? So let us not want to leave the status quo in bringing up dysfunctional families. Let us consider family units and let's make it work.
Okay, so we are actually left with 5 minutes. It's been an hour. Kobana bazobe bekhona, izabe inini, izobe iphi, how do people get a hold of you?
Okay, the Parents Empowerment Seminar will be held at Pine Creek in Beacon Bay on the 28th of June 2025. It's the day after the closing of the schools. The tickets are 300 rands per person. Come one, come all. Parent is not one parent, meaning mother. bring along family, or those that deem themselves as taking responsibility in raising kids. It will empower you and take it to the next level. I'll be hosting and I'll be having a panel. The panelist is Ms Naledi Mkai. She's a clinical psychologist. She has a practice in East London and in Pretoria. She is a businesswoman. The next person will be Ms Nina Makubalo. Unina has worked in the public sector for many years, including a teaching background. And she's got quite vast experience in parenting, parenthood. And the other one is Utosama. Utosama Ntuba is a divorcee. She's an author, and she is very passionate about the topic on, she's an advocate of divorced women and parents as well. She will be forming them. And I have a guest from Pretoria, Pretoria, that is Henry Ackerst. Henry Ackerst is a motivational speaker. He suffered a lot when he was growing up. He does not have parents now, so he will be there to tell his side of the story when it comes to how it is to be to grow up without a parent. And I have been approached by entertainers. There will be entertainers, poets, and kids that will be rendering some musical items. And there'll be food, by the way. And we are saying that let us be game changers in ensuring that we go back to basics. The world cannot change itself. It needs people like us to make that concerted effort in ensuring that we do something. We plow back to society in a very positive way. That's what I can see.
How do people reach you?
I am available on all platforms. My website is www.fraserfoundation.co.za. The telephone numbers are 082-320-8233. Alternatively, 066-287-4610. My social handle for TikTok is Fraser Foundation, Fraser Foundation SA12. Instagram, Fraser Foundation SA. And Facebook, Fraser Foundation.
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think if I'm not leaving anything behind. I think for the most part we've been able to cover. Come one, come all. It's gonna a lot of what she has said. Okay, I wanted to ask if someone wants to uvile le information is suffering from depression, uyayibawela le information. Mhlawumbe uyayibawela one-on-one. Do they go to Facebook and then go straight to a DM or?
No, they can just drop us. We are also available on email, info@fraserfoundation.co.za. And as cited, if you can go on your Facebook, the contact details are there. We are available on WhatsApp as well.
Okay.
So we do try to make resources available at whatever cost available so that we are able to help and assist people. We are here for the well-being of the people.
Okay. So if you want more information, get 28th.
The 28th
June 2025, please come through and you will hear a lot, and then keep in touch for ezinye ezizawulandela. From my side, thank you so much for coming through. I feel like there's a lot we have not yet covered. It's just that in the parameters of an hour, there's only so much you can ask and talk about. So you are welcome to come again. Maybe after the event, if you have a new concept that you would like to first discuss extensively, you can come and then set that date that will the event be, and then maybe we can take a few clips, play them there, so that just to get the jive to everyone who's coming in. Thank you so much for coming through. All the best for your event. Into ezinje zisinqabele thina. And sometimes we feel undeserving to go mhlambi because sicinga zinto zabantu abathile. So it is open for everyone. Everyone who's watching, if you get a chance to watch up until now, okanye if sikhathile yayile piece, if you watch this until here, please come through. If you are not a parent, you are a child. So you have to be there to learn how to relate to a parent, to understand how they deal with you, or how they should, or how you should be as a child to your parent in situations or in times like these. So thank you so much for coming through. This has been the NayFul Podcast, episode 57. We are out.
Thank you.
This podcast has been proudly brought to you by Electronic Solutions, recorded at the Block Studios. And if you want to use our facilities, get in touch with us on all our social media platforms, Electronic Solutions. Email us admin@leptronicsol.com.